It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network, itsneworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar, today we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, just down from Napoleon Avenue, where they have half-price happy hour every day for 3 hours from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with half-price food and half-price drinks. I'll say that again because it's absolutely true. Half-price drinks and half-price food. That's why there's so many people here at Wayfair today. As you see, the whole place is overrun with alcoholics. How many people are here? 2.
I'll give it 8.
8. There's 8 people. So there's plenty of room for you. If you're watching this live on Facebook Live,
right.
Come on. You can turn off Facebook and come on down here and join us and have a drink at half price. And half price bar food, which is awesome, actually. And also they have an awesome brunch on the weekends. So here's the deal. So did we all do this thing with the Facebook situation?
No.
Yeah, I just found it.
You did it, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike Dillon is here, which is an unbelievable coup for us to have somebody who's actually an accomplished and successful musician other than Andrew Duhon, who's here every week.
Well, so it feel like it's nice to have when you said Mike was going to be here, I thought maybe there'd be some vibes.
Some sort of mistake.
Being
They're
wheeled
in the
in.
van. I'll go get them in a little bit.
Do you have the vibes with you here?
Oh, yeah, they're right out across
Can we
the street.
set them up? No worries.
Yeah, I could get them in the middle of the podcast.
That would be so awesome. How you have to talk into this mic?
I could grab them out of my van.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Could you really? For real?
Yeah.
Okay. How cool would that be?
That'd be pretty sick.
I would love that. So if you don't know who Mike is, stick around. You're going to get to see and hear that. That would be amazing. How do people describe you? Are you a percussionist or a vibraphonist? Or
Percussionist that screams.
Percussionist that screams?
Yeah.
You don't see the word sort of vibraphone or vibes and punk in the same sentence, ever.
You do now.
Except for you.
There's a few other. DJ Bone Break from X plays vibes.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's old school punk rock.
Right. I don't think what you do is really punk, though, do you? It's too sophisticated.
It's a mixture of all of it.
Yeah.
You know, when you see Bad Brains in 1986, it's hardcore. It leaves an impression on you that you
Right.
can't escape. It kills smooth jazz.
Talking of smooth jazz, what is that band called that you play with?
Well, I used to play
Dead
with
Kenny
them.
G's.
And I
Oh,
was
you're wearing
down
a
to the
t-shirt.
bottom of my laundry collection today of clean clothes.
Right.
So
this was it. The
I
Dead
still
Kenny
like
G's.
this shirt with the old Speaker of the House
Nice.
with
Well,
a
that's who
Kenny
that is.
G wig. Yeah.
That is too.
Yeah, I just found this. You know, Kenny G's real name is Gorlick. That's his last name. So
Is
we
it
had,
really?
we had a song going, Gorlick, Gorlick.
Did he come after you for using his name at all?
No, but I just heard a story this weekend. I was hanging out with our sax player, Scarrick, and apparently someone was doing an interview with Kenny G in Seattle at KEXP or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, Kenny, there's a band in town. There's a sax player. There's a band called the Dead Kenny G's. And then one of the guys, like, that was working on the interview, pulled off took off the Dead Kenny G's. Showed it to him, and he was a good sport about it, you know. And then they played some Dead Kenny G's for Kenny G. And
Oh, that's pretty damn
yeah,
cool.
it's a good
That's
story.
cool.
Apparently,
Yeah.
you can find that on Facebook
That's cool.
or somewhere.
So we're also joined here
YouTube.
by Eric Newman. Are you a Kenny G fan, Eric?
I'm not a fan of Kenny G. I'm sure
Who
I've
doesn't?
relaxed a little bit here and there to something he's done.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
love Kenny G?
Right,
And
right.
strangely enough, you're wearing a matching shirt and baseball cap
I
that
am.
says the food bar,
I like to-
FUD.
Yeah, it's pronounced food.
Food.
We get asked if it's FUD a lot.
bar.
But,
The
you
FUD
know,
bar. It looks like
yeah.
the FUD bar.
It's pronounced food.
Well, that's what the two dots,
Yeah,
like
right.
Motorhead.
And it's a made-up word, so...
Are you German yourself? Because Newman sounds sort of German.
I am German, but it's not a German restaurant. You know, I just wanted something that needed to be explained an awful lot.
Yeah, it's a great idea, right?
Where is the restaurant?
It's over on in the lakefront area, closer to UNO,
Okay.
on Robert E. Lee, 1522, at the end of Paris Avenue. Kind of just starting off that area, getting redeveloped really since Hurricane Katrina.
Right,
so
right.
we're hoping we're on the front end of things out there.
And Veronica Elweiss is here talking of German. That was originally German. Your name too. All of us.
Actually, Austrian.
How much
not
closer could
German.
I have been? Not German. Is there a sort of a sore point?
No.
Is that
not-
like being called Canadian or
There's nothing wrong with Germans. I love Germans.
You do?
Yeah.
Why particularly Germans? Just because you're sitting... Hey, your parents German, Eric?
Well, yes.
Your actual parents?
My dad's from there, and my mom is second generation, so...
Okay. How'd they meet each other then?
Church.
Here?
Yeah, Lutheran church. Imagine
Really?
that. Yeah.
Lutheran?
Yeah.
So I saw in my extensive research that I've got here, thank you to our producer, Graham DePonte, that you went to Lutheran High School or something.
I did. I graduated
I've
from
never heard of that.
Lutheran High. It's very, very small school. About 20-something people in my graduating class, but it's been around
Where
a while.
is it?
It's out in Metairie on Cleary.
And how many of those 20 people are still around? Do you know them?
Most of us, and I hung out with about half of them this weekend. We've stayed
Is that
close.
right?
Yeah.
Really? So you're friends with most of the people you went to school with at
I am.
Lutheran High?
I am. I have the same
Okay.
5 group of guys that I've been hanging out with since kindergarten, actually.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
wild.
That's crazy.
What about you, Mike? Do you still have friends from high school?
A couple.
Where did you go to high school?
St. Thomas High School in Houston, Texas.
In Houston, Texas. Okay.
Basilian Fathers,
Hey, are you the guy who's gone the most off the rails?
probably.
What are the other two guys do?
People from that school that I've kept in touch with. Every now and then you hear something Facebook, but every now and then I run into someone at a gig, but
Not
I don't
often.
know. I don't live in Houston anymore.
Right. What made you move here?
Music.
That'll do it. That's pretty much why everybody moves
Yep.
here. So how do you do this live thing? I can't even see
I'd
anything.
love to figure it out. Who
I
knows?
can't see
I'm trying
anything.
to figure it out.
Can
It's
you
distracting me. I want to forget
See?
about
Oh, no,
it.
me too. That's what I knew was going to happen. Last
Do we
week, our
need someone
producer
under
April.
40?
Everybody looking
Well, April did it for us last week, and I can't see anything
We
here.
need a millennial right now to hook us up.
So we should be on the It's New Orleans Facebook page, right?
Yep, we're all there.
This is really
But I don't
riveting.
see anything
stuff.
happening live
It's
there.
sad. Okay.
Hello, are you live?
It's New Orleans. Okay, It's New Orleans. I'm looking at it right now. So are you on the page?
Is that you right there?
I've got it shared to the
Yeah, that's the right page.
the
But
Food Bar Facebook page.
yeah, okay. Happy hour, drinking food for the soul at Wayfair, it says. Okay. So what do I do? Oh, look. Okay, this is look how far behind it is.
That's
Okay,
awkward.
share.
All
Okay,
right,
there's
where'd
a,
you find that thing?
But
There's
when
a
that
button
happens and
that
it plays
says-
to the mic in the live feed, once it gets there from the delay, we're going to enter another dimension is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's going to get
where are we
trippy.
going to go?
Safety not guaranteed.
Okay, I did share now.
I
Look,
can't
here
find
I am sharing it.
All right.
All right.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we just entered a new dimension.
How,
Now you're going to be able to hear
Look.
if you put on headphones.
Yeah.
I guess I have to
A little
somehow. But if I stop, have I still? Even if I stop watching it, I've still shared it, right?
Sure. I
so I
have
can-
no idea.
I don't know.
I quit before I started.
I'm turning it, and we can't quit. You got to be a team player and share it.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I'd be glad to share it. I just don't. I don't know how to get to it.
I did it.
I'll tell
You
everybody.
did it.
about
Okay,
did
you
it.
did it. All right, Eric, did you figure it out?
I believe so. I think
Okay.
it's on there. Yeah.
Well, you're the smartest guy here because you graduated from Lutheran High.
What does Food Bar?
Opinions vary.
What is the food at Food Bar?
Well, it's kind of all over the place. We've kind of settled in on the term chef-prepared meals for the home cooking crowd. It's really what you might make for your own family at home if you had a background
family?
in cooking, or
Oh.
a family would help. But
Okay.
Roommates work too. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
don't need to be related to your family. I've found.
Nice. So if I were to go there, what might a special be?
Our claim to fame is a couple of things. The meat and threes are something we're trying to bring to the city here. They're popular in other southern towns where you
Totally.
pick your meat or your entree and you get 3 sides or vegetables with that. So everything's fresh, everything's from scratch, and so we have a pork carnitas, beef brisket, rotisserie chicken, and then we actually have fresh fish we do every day. Right now we're serving pan-seared redfish.
Cool.
So you put that with 3 sides, and it's a pretty
pick
good
your
meal.
deli.
Yeah, we got lots of great sandwiches and salads, a salad bar, gumbos, etc.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So a little something for
Sounds
everybody.
delicious.
Yeah,
I
It
thanks.
would have been good if there was a little something for everybody.
I should have brought something.
I wish you had. Now I'm starving hearing all that. Aren't you guys hungry now? Now we have to order something from
If only
Wayfair.
we were somewhere that had food. Yeah.
How did you get started? So you've been in the restaurant business for a while, though.
I have. You know, my first job was washing dishes. You know, growing up in high school, and it's always kind of been what.
While you're at
you know,
Lutheran, you'd be
yeah,
washing dishes. Who for?
I fancied myself a musician back in the day, and so you know, figured I needed to do something that I could make money with. You know, I wasn't really good enough.
These guys are making some money playing music.
Yeah, not what I was playing though.
What
What were you playing?
Mostly my guitar and songs that I wrote myself.
awesome.
You know,
Ah,
yeah.
man.
So they were all really
You got-
poorly written and sad.
You got one handy? You want to
Yeah,
play? I
let's
got,
do it.
seriously, I got my guitar.
Yeah.
If you want to,
You know, it's all food these days.
Come on, let's
my,
do
my
one.
kids get a concert every night and they don't throw stuff at me.
That's
So
cool.
many,
Hey,
how,
you
many,
know.
how many kids have you got?
I have 2 kids,
Okay, how old are they?
9 and 10,
Oh, that's
Oscar and
lo-
Carrie Evelyn. Yeah, going into 4th and 5th grade.
That's great names. Kerry Evelyn? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. Kerry Evelyn and Oscar.
Yeah.
Who's got the sense of humor, you or your wife?
You know, I think we're both about the same. She
Really?
would
That's
say
cool.
me.
Kerry Evelyn is a great name. So is Oscar. Okay, let's get the guitar out. Let's do one song. We'll be your kids
Yeah.
for the night.
No,
Do
we're
you
not.
play? Yeah, come on. Do you play anything at all,
You
Veronica?
know, I don't. I played the trumpet in junior high
Oh,
school,
wow.
but not since junior high school.
I think if Eric's
So
going to
I'm
play
out.
something, you're going to have to play something.
Oh, I can't. I don't have anything.
We don't want to end this
play.
thing early, do we?
Come on, one song.
I think we should leave the
don't-
music,
to
to
the
the musician
professionals?
that's in the group.
I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
We could do home music for the home cooking crowd. What is it called? What is your slogan?
Chef prepared food for the home cooking crowd.
Chef prepared food for the home cooking crowd. Okay, I like that. How did you come up with that? Few beers?
Yeah, you just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Right, that's how I do cooking.
I grabbed the
Yeah.
guitar while I was gone. Did you convince him he would
No,
play a song?
he doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it, and I don't want to
No.
make him do it.
He
But,
said,
Yeah,
my-
all right. Well,
but you play for your kids at home, you say?
I do.
Well,
Well,
come on, you
yeah.
could do one
Yeah,
thing
but
for
they
us
do
there.
all the singing. You know, they do all
We'll
the hard
do the
work.
singing. We'll do
Yeah.
the singing. These guys are fucking professional musicians.
yeah, I can sing along.
Yeah, okay, you play and we'll sing. Teach us one of your songs.
Yeah.
Hand it over,
pretty
Andrew.
please.
It's in tune and everything because it's got the thing on it.
Well, I really don't have anything to play.
Ah, you must be. Whatever you play for the kids, just teach us one.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We're totally good.
I
We've
don't
done
know.
this before. Even I'm a semi-professional singer. Okay. Never
Well,
mind.
can you use the-
Mind the buzzing in the headphones. It's nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maybe Mike should play something on the guitar.
Yeah,
because, you know,
we've got
Mike.
plenty of time. Don't worry. I'll play something. I can play 3 chords, by
I
the
have
way.
nothing.
How
I
many
have nothing.
chords?
You
can-
really put me on the
Come
spot.
on,
I
yeah.
got three
It's
chord
happy hour.
setting.
That's all we need. 3 chords.
G. Okay, I know that one. Oh, that's pretty good,
That's
actually.
awesome.
I'm going to move my mic
I
around. so-
mentioned I got out of music, right? That I don't really do this.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, come on. Let's go. What are we?
All right,
What are
let's
we-
say,
what are
let's
we
say
playing?
theoretically you were trying to put me to sleep right now. What would you play?
Okay. Well, there was a song that I wrote for my answering machine.
Nice.
Back when you did, you were creative with your outgoing messages. We didn't have robots to say that we weren't here and, to disguise our voices. So, I'm not here, but that's okay, 'cause if there's something you've got to say, just leave your name and number at the tone. I'll call you back as soon as I'm home. Leave your name and number. We'll call you back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That was worth
All
it
right.
right there. Nice. Okay.
All right. Here you go.
Nice
And
work.
there's no reason why you couldn't still have that on your voicemail.
I don't have any data left.
What do
It
you
would cost
mean?
me extra, I think.
I think you can leave an
That's
outgoing message of any type, can't you?
Yeah.
What's
Right.
on your voicemail?
Oh,
Anything?
I'm not sure.
You've reached
Probably. Yeah, it's
504 something.
Probably
something.
just did the usual colloquialism.
Mike, what are you doing on your phone here?
I'm trying to figure this out. I'm about to give up.
Yeah, give up.
I'm giving up.
It's too much.
Joining the
We
conversation.
need to give it. Yeah, we need to give it to somebody. Well, Veronica figured it out. How did you figure it out?
Well,
You're a graduate
I
of-
refreshed several times, and then
You
it
just kept
appeared.
refreshing?
Yes, and then it appeared.
All right, maybe I'll refresh.
Maybe Ellison can figure it out for you. Yeah, it should be up
At the
there.
website, right?
Maybe Veronica can do it for you. Okay, Allison's on.
Allison's on it.
It should be at the top, shouldn't it?
I'll keep refreshing then.
Well, it
Okay.
might be because you're not on the app.
Oh, this is not the app. Oh, there's a difference between the app and the browser on a phone. We
is that
figured,
what it is?
yes,
Yes.
yes, you can't be on your browser on the phone. I think you have to be in the actual app. Good answer, Alice.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have to quit, unless you want to download the whole app and all that bullshit.
Watch this. That'll take about 2 seconds.
All right. Okay, you can do that. Okay, moving right along. I'll come back to
Just
you. in
like
a
when I
minute.
go to dinner with my girlfriend.
What happens?
I'm on the phone. She's eating dinner.
Is that right?
She's
I
like,
feel
we have this.
terrible.
Well, actually, we have this rule now. We're not allowed to take our phones to dinner.
Good idea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you can be a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see these people at dinner. Don't you see this? There's
Yeah.
two people. You see it all the time. You have a
Sorry.
restaurant.
Yeah.
There's people. Both of them are sitting there.
Just sitting there,
Yes.
partying on phones.
Why go out to dinner with somebody if you're going to sit there and look at your phone? How long have you guys been together?
13 years.
13.
So you have
Lucky.
then received the text from the other room. You
Oh,
know,
yeah. Yeah.
Bring me a glass of water.
That has happened.
I'm in the kitchen.
Usually just when we're messing with each other.
Really, you have that? How long have you
Right.
been married?
Well, I've been with my wife 17 years.
17.
Nice.
Okay. Veronica, what's your situation? You're looking for someone?
I am. I
Okay.
am. I am.
These boys can help you.
I'm finally ready, and here in New Orleans.
What was holding you back?
You know, well, I'm a life and business coach, so I'm going to be straight up and honest. I did a lot of work on myself first, and
You were pretty fucked up to begin with.
You know, one might say no. You know, I just decided that I wanted to be the best me and work on myself as far as how I show up with myself and in relationships. So I just got into my personal development. And also, I'm on my third career, which I love. And
Third career?
Yes.
Shit.
And I
That's-
think I was
that's
waiting to
intimidating.
move to New Orleans. So that was always a dream of mine. I visited New Orleans 18 times over 23 years
What?
before making it
Really?
home. So I think
So
he's
what
here.
held you back from moving if you're a life coach? Well, you weren't a life coach then, were you? Or were you?
Well, that's such a great question. I've been a life coach for.
Thank you. Just how long have we been on the air? Finally asked a good question. Thank you.
Well,
Yes,
because it was coaching that got me to New Orleans, Grant.
it was.
Yes.
How come?
Well, I've been a life coach for 13 years, and it was something that my coach said to me.
Hang on, you were a life coach in Los Angeles,
I was a life coach in Los Angeles
13
for
years.
13 years, yeah.
and Mike's been with his girlfriend for 13 years. Is there
That's
something?
right.
Is there something in that, Andrew?
There will be.
Okay, let's
If we
keep
continue
going.
on the show,
Synchronicity.
Keep going.
we're gonna figure
Okay.
out the code.
Well, it was something my coach said. She was tired of hearing me talk about New Orleans and how much I wanted to live there, and she said, she just got real with me, and she said, Veronica, there's nothing in the way of your dream other than yourself. And she said, what are you waiting for? And I realized I was waiting on myself. I was waiting for permission. I was waiting for evidence I wouldn't fail, and that
Oh, you can't fail here.
Yeah,
Didn't you know that?
And finally, I pulled the trigger, and I haven't looked back. It's been 4.5 years, and I'm
Okay.
so happy. This is my number one place to call home now.
Yay. Where were you before that? In Los Angeles?
I also love Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles, worked at the University of Santa Monica, which is where I have my master's in spiritual psychology. I love my community back there, and I do miss California.
Is anybody going to say something about spiritual psychology?
No
Or
questions.
am I going to have to do it?
Go
Any
ahead, Grant.
questions?
Get in there.
Okay. What?
What in the world is that?
Spiritual psychology.
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of an oxymoron or whatever the word?
Well, you might think so, but honestly, the root word psyche means spirit. So spiritual psychology brings back the soul into the study of mind and emotions, of thoughts and emotions. So it's a fantastic program.
Well, finally, we've got someone to ask these questions. Where does our soul come from?
Yeah. Is
Where
there,
do you guys think it comes from?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I want to back up. Are you suggesting that there is no soul in science, just objectively speaking?
I think there's soul in everything.
Okay. Good.
Good
yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
When you say everything, does that include every living object or just...
I think there's spirit and energy in everything and everyone and every
And is that the same thing
place.
as a soul, though?
Well, perhaps not, but I do think that each living person has a soul.
You think they do?
I do.
And when they're not living, where is it?
It's off doing something else.
Like what?
You'd have to ask them.
Maybe I don't know. I haven't died yet. Well,
Warming
maybe I
the
have.
ground?
So what do they teach you when you do a master's in spiritual psychology? Surely that's got to be 101, doesn't it? Where is the soul coming from?
It's less theory and more practical application. So it's a 2-year program where you work on yourself. You're your own client for 2 years, and you're using these principles and practices of spiritual psychology to grow and transform, and to really answer the questions like, why am I on the planet? Who am I, and how do I want to make a more meaningful difference in my life and in my world?
And can we come up with an answer for these questions, each one of us?
I would love to know.
But
your
everybody can come up, not just list here, but everyone listening to us and everyone in the world can come up with an answer about why we're here. Individually, we each have an individual reason to be here.
Well, that's listen, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I experienced for myself.
I don't know if it's true. I thought you knew.
I would never say that I know 100% that it's true. I can only go by my own experience and what I've experienced.
So everything
many other
could
people
be
to
absolutely
experience.
pointless then.
It could be. It could be.
Okay.
Grant, I hope
so
not.
much for that. Didn't you think? I thought we were going to get a breakthrough here. That you were going to tell us what we're doing here.
At the happy hour.
Grant, what
Yeah.
would your if it was true? What
Yeah.
would you say your purpose is?
I would love someone to tell me. I thought you were going to be able to say there was a way to figure it out.
Well, let me ask you it a different way.
Okay.
If there was one thing you wanted to be known for, or one message that you have for others, what would it be?
One message that I had for other people would be, don't be so serious.
I
Take
love
it
it.
easy. That would be my message. What would yours be, Eric?
Be sure to eat at the food bar at 1522 Robert E. Lee. We have sandwiches.
That's a good message. Okay, what's
These
what's
things are
yours
important.
then,
These
Veronica?
things are important.
What's your message for the world?
My message is to love, to
that's
to
good.
do the work, to love yourself and love others.
Okay, Andrew?
Oh, damn. I didn't know I was going around the horn.
I'm going around all the way. Mike's the luckiest person because he's
Holy
got time
shit.
to figure it out.
Can you
Go back
can you
to you?
give me the
What was the question again?
Yeah.
If there was one thing you wanted to be known for, that you like a message you have for
Uh-huh.
others when you leave the planet, they
Okay.
want to remember you by, what would that be?
Damn. I mean, it feels like you said, you're always getting to know yourself, right? So this like one finite message feels strange, but I guess I would want people to know that I spent my time trying to write something honest that might make us all feel united, or discover that for myself, that we were all united,
That's beautiful. So honesty,
Can you-
authenticity.
Can you shorten that down a little bit?
Well, I heard honesty, authenticity,
I hate that
and
authenticity
connection.
word.
Why do
What
you
is
hate
that?
it?
I don't know what authentic to what? Am I an authentic human? Sure, but like, what does that mean? You're authentic by having fronts and being socially awkward, but what's authentic means? I don't know.
Well, what would it mean for you?
genuineness?
Genuineness, maybe. Yeah, I think honesty's good. I think trying to be honest about your human experience in hopes that nakedness might help other people be more secure with their own nakedness and maybe live more honestly themselves somehow.
But that
you
is
know?
way too complex for a single message to get
Yeah.
across.
I like
Yeah,
it.
need
though.
sorry.
I like
we
it's
need to-
powerful.
Yeah, it's my first draft. Sorry
Yeah.
about this.
So how can you shorten that, Veronica?
I just heard, I'm going
Authenticity.
to use the word genuineness, like that
Genuine.
you show up in who you are, in your vulnerability. You said your nakedness. So you're not literally going to get naked, are you?
No.
At this, okay.
That's my job.
You like to get
Wait your
naked?
turn, Mike. Wait your turn.
I used to.
You used to take your clothes off on stage?
Yep.
All of them?
Back when I was a millennial.
You did?
Yeah.
You took
I was the
everything
first
off.
millennial ever back in 1990.
Before there was a millennium.
Yes, exactly.
What happened then? Was there dancing or was there smearing of things?
There was
Or
chocolate syrup and
Yeah.
random male appendages flying everywhere. It was,
And this is
it was usually a sword fight of sorts.
This is in your own band?
Oh yeah, back in the old days.
And what was the name of the band?
Billy Goat.
Billy Goat.
Yeah.
Has that survived on YouTube?
No, it's pre-YouTube. You
Yeah,
can't get
so-
away with that kind of stuff anymore unless
Yeah.
you're like
They don't
place
make
where
them
they
like
don't
they
have
used
phones.
to.
Yeah. Life was fun before these things.
That's right.
Yeah. So I got two questions for you. One is, what's your message for the world they're going to leave behind like the rest of us?
You know, I think you just got to live your life and do what you love. And I love playing music. And with my music, I just try to dig deeper every day. You know, I love doing
good one.
what I do, and I dig deeper every day.
That's a
I
good
practice
one.
pretty
Right.
much off and on all day today.
Hey, that was
That's what
that was my
Coltrane
next
did.
question.
Yeah,
Because you're a percussionist,
yeah.
which is when you watch someone play like you, it's like you can't. When you watch someone play the piano or you watch them play the flute or something, you can see what they're doing. When you watch someone play the drums, you can't figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? It looks so simple, but it's absolutely complex. It's the,
Simple complexity. I like that.
It look-
You know, it's
so-
like you listen to Elliott Smith song. You're talking about a song. You know, to me, I love Elliott Smith. You know, and he's already gone. He left the planet.
Right.
But talking about an honest guy, you know, and like all that music, people just listen to. You go to Starbucks now, you hear it. But you know, 20 years ago, you didn't hear it in Starbucks.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Right.
but to play like you do, and like, can you learn that
Yeah. I think
rhythm? Can you learn rhythm?
rhythm's in everyone. It's the the pirate masters that tell you can't. You know.
But you can learn to play the guitar and you can learn to play the piano. But I'm not sure that you can. Can you teach?
Well,
someone
I don't know
to
if you can learn to play the guitar. That's why I ended up playing drums.
Really?
No, not really. I wanted to
No.
play drums ever since I was a kid.
Right.
In fact, I got a trombone when I was 10 in 5th grade, and they made you play a wind instrument for the first year before you could switch to drums. But I was a manipulative little fuck at 10 years old, so I took my trombone after about 3 months and destroyed it. The band director was like, "Wow, it's so ruined. You're going to have to play drums."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an impressive way of
Yeah.
getting your own way. So you were a punk
Yeah,
from the beginning.
I guess.
Smack the trombone to pieces. Hey, should we get the vibe set up or should we just listen to something? What do you think's the best thing?
I don't know. What would be more fun? Probably go grab the vibes. That might take me 5 minutes of being disappeared, you know,
Sure.
MIA.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
shall
if
we?
you can set it up right here, I'd say
Yeah,
go
let's
for
do it.
you know?
Okay, we'll keep the conversation going. Well, do you mind doing it?
I don't mind doing it.
Do you need a hand? Do we need someone? Do we need to send Alison with you? Alison will help. She's the strongest person here, actually.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
It's all set up. I just got to move some things out, pull it out, and then I'll roll it in.
Sweet.
Okay. All right.
You know what's interesting about what you were just asking though is Mike and I have something in common, which is we both used the same drummer for I don't know, the past year or so. Max Simanovic played with both of our bands, and he's playing with both of us less these days because now he's playing with Miranda Lambert. But he's a really great musician and probably the guy who taught me about drums in the sense that you can play the same song. 5 people can play the same song and they can play the same part on drums, but they all feel it differently. And there is a different groove to everybody's. They might play it more in front or more in back, but they all literally feel the same rhythm a different way.
Huh.
And that's a amazing thing to feel from people.
Yeah.
Just like you're just marking time. You're not even making notes generally when you're a percussionist.
That's what I'm saying. It's like-
not tones. It's just
Yeah.
beats. It is tones, but you're not necessarily playing a 1-4-5
That's
on
what I mean.
the
It
song.
looks so simple.
You're marking
Yeah.
time. And so to consider how musical people like Mike can be by just marking time.
That's what I'm talking about. It
Is-
looks so
is
simple, but it's
incredible.
really complex.
Yeah.
When
so
you watch them.
speaking of our own mortality and all that shit, drummers know what's up. I think I saw there was a drummer at Bayou Boogaloo who had a shirt that said something like, "We make time passing feel fun." Shit! It was so much more. It was more eloquent than that. But I love that idea that drums are just making the ever decaying mortality feel fun. Like, there it goes again. There it goes. Oh, whoops. There it goes again. Older again. But marking it is such an interesting thing. Yeah.
Time. So, hey, Veronica, when you were in Los Angeles, you were a television and film producer?
Yes, my first career for 12 years was producing TV.
TV
So,
producer. What did you produce? Anything we watched?
I'm 48, and at that time when I was producing TV, do you remember the movie The Weeks? Like,
The
you
Weeks.
remember like Lifetime TV movies, Movie of the Weeks, and they'd air
Movie
like
of the
Sunday
Week.
night,
That's
Monday
what you
night.
called them if you were in the business.
Movie of
The
the
Weeks.
Movie of the Weeks.
MOW. Movie of
So
the
I did a
Weeks.
lot of,
Yeah, you did a lot of those things.
Lifetime drama,
That was mostly
ABC,
when a
CBS.
kid, it was like after school special type things?
Well, they were a little bit more.
It was like disease of the week type thing.
Well,
Someone had
kind
a
of.
cancer
They
show.
were like
or-
based on true stories, but they were dramatized. So
Right.
I did those, and I did 2 movies in Eastern Europe and former communist countries back in 1993 and 94.
And what were they called?
One film was called Fatherland. It was with Rutger Hauer and Miranda Richardson. It did win a Golden Globe.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. So I mean, for Miranda won. I think Miranda won the Golden Globe, if I remember. So we
Rutger
shot
Hauer,
in
he was
Prague.
like a movie star for a while there. Remember him?
No,
Blade
was a-
Runner.
He was in
How old are you?
Yeah, Blade Runner.
32 as of last
Have
week.
you ever seen Blade
Go
Runner?
Netflix Blade Runner.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness! Is it on Netflix?
Probably.
Oh my! Have you seen Blade Runner?
I have.
Isn't it awesome?
It was a good film.
It's a great
That's
movie.
kind of like Tron without neon lights, right?
I've never seen Tron. Have you seen Tron? No, I don't know.
These
Is that
movies
supposed to be a
are-
joke or is that?
It was a joke
That was
because
a
I haven't
joke,
seen
yeah,
either,
so
but
that's
I
a-
remember what Tron looked like.
I can't remember it.
There was an Atari game, Tron.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
That pretty much was
and
the
I think
extent
that
of
was
my
the
knowledge.
that was the wasn't that the impetus, or maybe vice versa for the movie? Wasn't the movie like the guys on the motorcycles that were kind of neon on a grid and whatnot? No.
What
How does
Blade
that
Runner?
work?
Blade Runner is like futuristic Los Angeles. What would I mean? Basically, what it's
Okay.
pretty
Were
much
there
what it's turned
vampires?
into.
And it was one of Harrison
No, there's
Ford's
no-
first films.
Yeah, there's no vampires in it.
No, I might be thinking of something.
You're thinking
else.
maybe Soylent Green or
Man.
something.
We're
And-
really coming up with a great film idea here, though. Just putting
What
all
is
these
it?
misunderstood movies we haven't seen together.
We should go
though.
pitch
Good
it.
idea.
Yeah.
We have a movie producer. You don't want to produce any more films.
You know, I
Unless we
really
have-
enjoyed it, but I got to a place where I asked myself, is this what I really want to do? Is this aligned with how, like, do I love doing this? And, I did to a degree, and, my career was successful on paper, and I was doing well. But I did a lot of soul searching and decided that I wanted to directly make a difference in people's lives. And that's when I went and got my master's and began coaching instead.
Okay. You don't think entertaining people and making them happy is?
Well, yeah.
Because that's what we're doing. I'm looking for some reason to keep going.
I love entertainment, and Grant, keep going.
What
I'm
if
sure
I
you
what
have
if I
lots of
gave up to do
reasons.
something more useful in people's lives? That's what you're talking about. That's what you want to do. You
It's
think
not.
you're helping
It's
more
not
people?
that it wasn't more useful. It was just that it wasn't my calling anymore. So I love entertaining. I love TV. I love music. I love New Orleans. That's why I'm here. Is just the joy and
What about combining all that
celebration.
and doing a New Orleans-based TV show about love?
Good.
Great idea. I love New Orleans. You could star in it. What have you thought about doing a television?
I
Think for
haven't
yourself?
lately. I haven't lately, but I'm having a love affair with New Orleans. So who knows what will happen? Who knows what creative projects
Having a
will
love
come
affair
out?
with New Orleans. Wait till you see what's going on here. Look at this. Here comes Mike Dillon with his vibes. Dude, that is awesome.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. This is so great. Hopefully we can mic this up so we can hear it.
Yeah, I think we can.
Well, you know what? I could go get my little cable and run a T-Direct. You want to do that? That'd be better.
I think we can mic this thing, honestly.
We have cables.
Oh, I need. Yeah, I got it.
Man, look at
What,
this.
now, what is this called again?
This is either a xylophone or a vibraphone, depending on whether or not it has vibrato, I think.
I hope it does that sound you were
Yeah,
telling
actually,
us
it's
about.
got a pedal down there,
It's
so
the-
I'd imagine it is a vibraphone.
It's the vibes. It is a great. I cannot believe you just got that whole thing set up in 1 second. Cool. Okay. Eric, this might change your life today as well.
It could. It could. I think I had some records in my parents' collection that was all vibraphones or xylophones.
Yeah.
Lionel Hampton or someone.
Hampton.
Apparently,
That's
they
right.
were very
Yeah.
popular in the 50s.
It's a beautiful instrument. It's a sort of a jazz instrument initially until Mike got his hands on it actually.
Think about how you could say I'm not home with that.
But there's definitely a part in there.
Oh, we can see if Mike can do a version of I'm Not Home. Oh, look, it's got.
I got a corner shop, baby.
Do you do this sort of thing yourself normally, or do you have a tech person? Do you have a tech person?
Sometimes when I'm lucky. Most of the time, I do it myself.
Right. It looks like you
Part of
know.
the
it's-
ritual.
That's right.
Wow, wait. How cool is this? And here's some pedals. Okay. So while we have a minute, Veronica, you have a thing coming up this weekend.
I do.
If you're
I
listening to
do.
this or watching this before, what date is it?
I have an event on June 10th, this Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 3 at Altamora Restaurant in Magnolia Mansion. It's at capacity. So here's
Sold
what it
out,
is. It is
so don't even-
well, sold out in the sense of it's complimentary, but I have 50 women who are confirmed to have RSVP'd. It's a coaching event as a gift to women in New Orleans. It's
So you're not
called.
going to meet a guy doing this.
Well, maybe the
You
next
need
one
a
will be
50
the
guys.
next one.
Yeah.
That's my next one.
Good
I love
idea.
it.
50
This one
guys.
is about create your best life for women.
Okay.
It's empowering women in New Orleans. So we're going to have lots of fun. It's going to be uplifting, and we're going to get real about what's in the way of them having and creating their best lives.
So you've got 50 women already signed up for this thing.
I do.
And it's free.
It is.
So
It's
how are you
complimentary.
making any money out of this thing?
You
It's
know,
just
this
not
is
for money.
my intention is not to make money from this. My intention is to be in service, to share what I do with people, and really support women in this case. And if women are interested in learning about my coaching and how I work with people one-on-one, I'm going to have longer conversations with
Okay,
them.
all right. So
And men. So, but can
Is
I
there-
ask you guys something,
ask Eric.
Eric?
Yes.
So just now, I decided in July I'm doing a Create Your Best Life for Men in New Orleans.
Okay, Mike,
a
catch
company
up with
day.
this. So
Yes.
Veronica's doing. Start again and tell Mike this as well.
So in July, I'm doing an event for 50 men.
50.
You guys are the first 4 enrolled,
Okay.
I hope. And it's called Create Your Best. Actually, if I had a theme for men to support you in your life, what would the theme be? If I was going to coach you and coach 46 other men, what would the
Look
theme
at
be?
Andrew's face. I hope you're getting a photo.
Andrew,
Shocking.
what would make a
Damn.
difference?
If you're looking for 40-something-year-old fathers like me, I'd be probably a good title is Where to Find Some Peace and Quiet in the House on a Weekday Evening.
And what would that do
Be
for
a
you?
whole
If
weekend
you-
of that.
If you did get that peace and quiet.
It would just give me an opportunity to better understand the voices in my head, I think. Because generally with the kids screaming and everything, it gets pretty muddled.
I hear
Is
you.
that what you're
I hear
looking
you.
for?
Yeah.
What about killing the kids?
It's out of the question. I've already,
Can't do that.
You're keeping
Time to
them.
We
start
talked about
drinking
it.
right now.
Yeah. See, luckily,
So-
when you work in a restaurant all day and there's draft beer and wine, you have full access. And
What
this
about
is-
you, Andrew?
Well, I guess my devil's advocate question would be if there's a life coach for a bunch of men, shouldn't it be a man?
Why do you think so?
Well, because women are from Mars and we're from Venus, or the other way
Well,
around. I forget which planetary.
other way around.
There is
Yeah.
truth to that. There is truth to that, but it's like I'm not coaching on I'm not coaching you on being a man per se, right? So I'm coaching you on the areas where you're stuck,
Right. okay.
emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Okay.
So I coach surgeons and I coach actors and I coach single moms, and I'm not any one of those
So
three
why
things.
has it been all women? Why is this one all men?
That's the best question
What?
of all.
Why
does have
was
to
it all
be
women and why is it now
single
all
sex?
men?
Well, it doesn't have to be, but this is my first complimentary event for anyone in New Orleans in 4 years since I've become a resident. So I just felt called. I'm a woman. I love women, and I did the Women's March in D.C. this January, and it really inspired me to ask myself, how can I support women in empowering themselves and living a life that's truly joyful for them and fulfilling. And so this is the first one that I'm doing, and maybe the next one will be co-ed. I don't know.
Okay.
Are there separate things? Is it that different being a man or a woman? Or empowering yourself and
when it
whatever
comes
that means?
right, I coach a lot of men actually. I coach a lot of men abroad in
Abroad.
yeah, I have clients in Singapore and Korea, and they're male executives. So
How do they find you?
through referral, and I have a few corporate clients. Like Facebook is one of my clients, so that's
What?
how they first
Wait
came
up.
my way.
Facebook is your client.
Yes, one of them.
Facebook
Yes.
in Silicon Valley, the Facebook. not like the food.
Facebook.
Not like the food Facebook or something.
Facebook.co.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Facebook is my client.
Well,
That's
I mean,
the craziest
most
thing.
of my clients, most
actually.
of my clients are private one-on-one clients, but I am an executive coach for global sales leaders for Facebook. So Facebook is one of my clients. But back to your question, Grant.
And you don't even know how to sign on.
No, I don't.
It's not part of the IT.
Why didn't we call somebody at
They're
Facebook
not
and
coaching
ask
me.
them? That's hilarious. So that's pretty serious. Of all the people in America, or the world, in fact, they could have hired to be
Well, they
an
have
executive
a number of great coaches that work with them.
What do you do with them?
Well, to answer your question, like, are men and women different in this sense? And Grant, I find that we all have the same challenges, so to speak, the same limiting beliefs or insecurities and fear that we're not enough, or we're not lovable, or we're not going to succeed, or that we're going to be alone. And that's the same in leaders, around the world. It's like they're afraid of failing, and they're afraid of who they are if they're not their numbers.
Why are people afraid of failing? What do they think is going to happen to them what do we think is going to happen to us if we fail?
What do you guys think? What's your worst fear if you fail?
Well, I'm asking
Nothing.
you. You're the. I don't know what's the commonality that you're finding among all the human beings on Earth that.
What I'm finding in my clients, I'll just speak to that, and people that I do the work that I do, that fear of failure ultimately. What the answer? It's like you have to ask yourself, well, what's next? If I fail, then what? What would that mean about me, or about my world? And it generally comes down to some version of like, I'm not okay. Like there's something wrong with me, and I'm lacking, and I'm not enough, or I'm not going to be safe. I'm going to be alone. So that's generally what it is. And
It's a fear of being alone is one thing, because that's being alone. You're not going to be alone if you get fired from your job. You're not going to be alone if you fail at a sports event or something.
Well,
what is it?
sure, but if you take it, if you really go deep inside, it's like, well, if there's something wrong with me, what are the consequences of that? Like, will I not be able to support myself? Will I not be accepted by others?
Right.
So it starts to. That's what I mean by alone.
Am I not going to be able to support myself? Sounds like a pretty reasonable thing to worry about to me. But am I not going to be accepted by others? Sounds like a pointless thing to worry about. There's two very different.
Yeah. Well, not everyone has the same level of that experience, and I'm not even saying that everyone has those limiting beliefs. But I've found a through line with people, whether they're wildly successful or not, to have some version of an area where they can work on accepting themselves and really, really embrace like the beautiful qualities that they have, that they're enough, that they're lovable, that they're perfect, really, that there's nothing that they need to compensate for. So like the work I do is about getting people reference inwardly versus outwardly, and really listening to their own inner wisdom, and standing in the truth of who they are and in their enoughness, and then going out in the world and being a powerhouse and making a difference and living the life that they want.
What's the difference between your heart and your head when you say listen to your heart instead of your head? What does that mean?
Well, for me, listening to your heart is not necessarily that emotional, kind of ups and downs that we have, that emotional realm. It's more listening to your truth, listening to what you love and what is meaningful to you. And when you listen to your head, that's where strategy happens. That's where thoughts happen of, the head is great. I mean, but I like to work with people in the head being in service to the heart. Where our minds are important.
Mike.
When we started this conversation before I ducked out and got this thing, it was all about like our spiritual purpose, and everything we're talking about is awesome today, because I thought we were just going to be sitting here selling ourselves, but we're actually digging a little deeper. You're talking about your head, like for me, seeing people that started in music school, say with me when I was 18, there were a lot of people that were great, a lot of people more talented than me, but their brains told them that they weren't any good, and people would quit doing it and giving up on themselves. I think, whereas if you're just living in the moment and following your heart, because I had this joke, I shot dope for 12 years. And when I quit doing it, a friend of mine, they said, don't listen to a word that your brain's telling you. Your brain's fucking crazy right now. Just do your thing and don't trust it. So that was like a prime example of like getting into breathing and meditating. just to shut down the brain. You know, Engelhardt, you know, what's that, The Power of Now? You know, that's a famous book.
Eckhart Tolle, yeah.
Tolle. You know, it's just like, don't listen to that crazy brain. Some people's it's more extreme than others. They're just going nuts all the time. You know, you'll hear that like in addiction or whatever, you know, a diseased brain. But, you know, that's one reason why addicts and artists and people like myself like drugs and drinking so much, because why? It shuts down your brain.
Right.
It chills you out to where you can just, as my acupuncturist says, breathe, you know? So to me, if I focus on my breath and just stay in the now and do it, you're going to keep getting better. Everything comes back to me.
When you were doing drugs, did it work?
Oh yeah, at first.
felt
but,
great?
But then if you use the pawn shop analogy, it's some high interest to pay, and it stops working. That's the problem. You know, heroin's great at first. That's why everyone who does it usually don't ever quit doing it. You know, they're not able to stop. But it stops working. I mean, you know, why do you think Kurt Cobain blew his brains out? I don't know, but if he was high and happy, you know, I know when heroin started for me, it was great. Then it became living hell.
Right.
And the trick was getting out of it. So to me, it's no different than if you're like doing heroin or eating all the time or shopping all the time or like sexing all the time or looking at your phone all the time. You know, our brains tend to be obsessed.
Yeah.
So when I hear you talking about life coaching, or my friend who's been meditating for 20 years, or it's all that way to find that little, what we started the conversation about, that single truth we're looking for.
Do you find playing music takes you out of it?
Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, for me, it was easier to quit drugs because I had music, and, you know, music is just a natural meditative thing. We all get into it, whether you're doing what you do, or I'm sitting there playing my tabla for 30 minutes in the morning drinking coffee. There's a ritual,
Right.
you know, and I think that's what this society in general lacks. That's why we have a Trump right now.
Why?
Because we don't have any true ritual. We have the ritual of money and worshiping wealth. I mean, come on, everyone.
Because we don't have a spiritual ritual? Is that what you're saying?
Not everyone. I'm not going to go absolute. I have no dogma either. But I think that's one reason why, if you think about it, what's the figure? Like, most people are on meds of some sort.
That's
to
true.
shut down our brain.
Right.
You know, and I'm not, believe me, every brain is like a thumbprint. I heard this from a doctor. So that makes sense. You got to find what works for every brain.
Right.
That's why I'm not going to be a doctor and say, oh, man, meds are stupid, quit them, you know. But there is something to be said if, like,
But most people are self-medicating, and you're right, in some way or
in
other.
some way,
Whether
smoking
it's
weed
going to
or
the gym.
going to the gym. I mean,
Right.
I like to run now. You know, that was another thing I did when I quit doing drugs.
Right.
I started running all the time.
That's a form of medication, but it's better for you.
It's
actually.
way better, right?
Well, you said it's you know, you're trying to quiet the, you know, to quiet your brain and to stop hearing the, you know, the things telling you can or whatever. I mean,
yeah,
wouldn't
you said that too, right?
Yeah, I mean, but and then so, you know, we live in a culture where everybody's turned on 24/7. You know, usually self-imposed, but whereas, you know, maybe our parents' generation, there was a little bit more quiet time available just by default.
Yeah. After
and so,
5,
yeah.
the office closed.
Right.
So, but now, you know,
Exactly.
it needs to be forced. So if you don't have, you know, your drums to play or your guitar or whatever, you know, people are looking for those things to force that quiet, because culture doesn't give it to you on its own. It's like time off from work. You know, people tell you if you don't take your vacation, you have to take it. There's not a good time to do it, you know.
Right.
So if you don't find ways to, you know, find that time to the side to quiet the brain a little bit, you know.
Well, you've said something pretty interesting there, because people are scared to take time off now.
Mm-hmm.
People are scared to take a vacation. They're scared to not look at their phone or go out to dinner without the phone, because you might miss something.
Yeah.
Something could happen. So we're all caught on this treadmill now. And I think it's difficult to get off of it.
Well, I really love what you said about ritual, because yours is connecting with something that you love, right? Music. And I think that's the key. Like, if you can create a ritual that gets you, that gets you to slow down inside, that connects with something that you love, you can live a more fulfilled life,
Yeah.
right?
What
That's
about
what you're coaching people to do, just to find that,
You know,
whatever that piece is.
yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm coaching people in what it is they want more of in their lives. right? So there's different, dimensions to that, and so it's not my agenda; it's really my client's agenda. But when we really get to play big, it's both outer goals. So you might want to write a book or be successful, or create a family or what have you. But it's also that inward journey. It's like, what am I here to learn? What am I about, and what am I here to heal?
I want to ask you something in a minute, which is why successful people aren't happy, which is something that I've never quite understood, but maybe you can explain that. But first of all, why don't we make you play something, Mike?
Want me to play something?
Yes.
Play
The great
something.
Mike Dillon is here. Kids, here we go. What do you want to play?
Let's see.
Can you keep those on?
Yeah, maybe I can.
All right.
All right, this is the damper bar on the wire.
The damper bar.
Okay.
So do you have a background in piano at all to play that?
Really. I was horrible at piano.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But it's the same principle, except instead of 10 fingers, you have 4 fingers.
Okay. We're in for a treat here. Okay.
If I can get it working. There we go. Give me a second.
I think the announcements are starting.
Nice. What was it?
Well, I started off with the little part of an Elliott Smith song, and I ended with the Thelonious Monk blues called Mysterioso. It seemed to fit the mood
Beautiful.
of the mysteries of
great.
life.
Beautiful.
It's really
What did you
amazing.
think, you guys?
I loved
That's
it.
very cool. Very cool.
I mean, it literally, each hand has 2 mallets, so there's impressive things going on there with the spacing to hit, 2
Yeah.
at a time, and it's really, really beautiful articulation on an instrument that I think most people would look at and just be completely lost,
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It looks. What could be easier than just hitting a stick on a thing, right?
But you know, kids everywhere. You know, it all starts. Drum corps all over the country, and drum corps all over the country. That's a great place.
But that's what I'm saying. It looks so easy. It's not easy to do.
Well,
It's
you got to sit
super-
around and practice. But I've done my 10,000 hours.
You have.
And I played a few clams just now, but who cares? That's
Yeah.
the other good thing about getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't beat up on yourself. You're like, oh. It's like James Joyce said, mistakes are the portal of discovery.
That's right.
That's a
love
good one
that.
for you,
Yeah.
Veronica. Okay, what have we got time to do here now? Not much.
This
Andrew,
is fun.
we
So
got-
is the hour nearly over?
it's almost up.
Wow.
I know. It
Don't
goes
worry,
quickly.
the half price appetizers continue.
That's
All
true.
right,
Two more
come
hours.
down here and have a beer
Right.
and some burgers.
Hit the bar.
Veronica, what is it?
I did want to add, even though
Yes.
my event's full, someone could come out. So if there is a woman listening that would like to participate and create your best life this Saturday, please go to my website at veronicaalweiss.com. So VERONICA
Yep.
ALWEISS.com, and you can
Okay.
email me there.
Okay. So there's room. There might be someone might drop out.
We never know. Yeah, we never know. So.
Right. What are the no-show factor like in these things?
You know, these women are amazing. And this event was shared in a heartfelt way from one woman to a friend. And they all seem really excited about being there.
Is
so.
there Italian food involved in it?
There isn't.
But why is it in an Italian restaurant?
Well, they're amazing. Altamora has been fantastic. They want more people to know about the restaurant and their
Okay.
space. So they've been so kind to open up the restaurant before hours for me. And they are so I have a wonderful caterer named Kina Joshua who's going to be making really healthy food for our women. And then after my event's over, the happy hour will be opened earlier for the women that want to stay and have the Italian food.
Okay.
So they will get a chance.
Have you been there, Eric, to Altamura?
I haven't been
Where do you
there.
like to go and eat out when you go out?
You know, I don't spend a lot of time eating out as much as since we have our restaurant. But you know, we have our favorites around town like anybody else. New Orleans tends to be a city of habits, and you know, people have their routines that they go on, and you know that's kind of we're trying to get into people's routine because
Right.
even where we are, even though there's not a lot of other restaurants. You know, it's a challenge to kind of get into.
Is that why you chose to do it open out there? Because there's nothing else out there?
Well, it's my neighborhood. You know, I live out there with my family, and I live in my grandparents' house, and so I've been out there, you know, pretty much my entire life.
Right.
And so we need it. You know, I mean, we
There's
started
nothing-
our family, like I said,
Right.
10 years ago, and you know, other than fast food and pizza, there's not a lot of opportunities for fresh. You know, prepared foods, and so that's what we're trying to provide. Just you know, food that's not, I wouldn't say health food, but it's going to be healthier than fast food and pizzas, just because of the way it's prepared and local ingredients and all that.
And it's mostly people in the neighborhood or UNO students? Or
It's
who's-
you know,
who's
we have a
over
little bit of everything. We have a lot of government buildings out there and banks by UNO, and we have several universities and high schools, and then of course our community, the lakefront neighborhood as well. And it's a little bit of everything, and you can get stuff to go, you can eat in the restaurant. You know, it's really whatever you're looking for. We try to be a lot of things to a lot of different people.
Which government is out there?
You've got the USDA is out there. FBI headquarters is out on the lakefront. Yeah.
So I could go to the food bar and I
Find
could
Colony
At any
Yeah.
given time, I got about 5 armed people in the restaurant. Luckily,
that's
they're
good.
not.
Safe
Luckily, they're not trying to rob me. Yeah.
Right armed people.
This would be a great way to meet guys in the FBI.
Yeah.
That's
Go to
right.
the
It's all
food bar.
part of my
The
all
food
part of my
bar.
plan. Yeah.
FUD.
Yeah.
FUD.
Umlaut.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, you want to play something before we get out of here? What do you think,
I
everybody?
can do. It's up to you.
I think so.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Love it.
I think
Yeah.
so. Where are you playing next,
Play
Andrew?
us out.
Where am I playing next? The next place I will play is Atlanta.
All right. I'm at
Yeah.
Tips this Friday.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you're at
Yeah.
Tipitina's on Friday, and it's free, I bet.
It's free. Yeah, and with Johnny Vodakovich tonight at DBA, and tomorrow night at Maple Leaf, and then Johnny Sketch Saturday.
That's killer.
And then
Yeah.
you're off on the road.
Then I'm home for a couple
mostly.
weeks, then I leave. Yeah, so.
You're all over the country all the time.
Yep.
I'm so excited that you're here, actually.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
this
It
is
was a
awesome.
ball.
So great.
Thanks for coming,
I
Mike.
didn't know
Yeah,
what the
thanks
heck
for
I was
playing.
stepping into.
I know,
It's
that's
nice
the best
meeting all you
part.
folks.
You've done
so
great,
great to
dude.
meet you
Well,
all.
you can come back, we're here all the time.
I will. I know where you are now.
Okay,
All right,
Andrew, what are
Andrew,
you
play us
playing?
a song.
All right, well, I'm going to adhere to my custom of playing you something new here, you know. Which makes me nervous because Mike's here, but, you know. See what's happening. Check this out. When I sleep, I see a cabin in my mind, a simple home right in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where it is or what waits for me inside. I guess I just ain't quite ready to go there. What if none of my love songs ever come true? Half in black and half in blue. What if none of these love songs ever come true? Half about my freedom and half about you. Thought of that first line on the ferry from Algiers. It said I should write it down when I told it to you. When I finally had a first draft, we hadn't spoken years. Even now it feels there's so much left to do. What if none of these love songs ever come true? Half in black and half in blue. What if none of these love songs of mine ever come true? Half about freedom and half about you.
Andrew, very nice. That is.
Very nice, Andrew.
Appreciate you guys.
Is that brand new? You just wrote that?
Yeah, just, you know, whittled that away this afternoon.
Well, the lyrics are on your phone still.
Yeah, I couldn't look at them because they were too far away, so I just closed my eyes and tried to conjure
Nice.
them. Yeah.
Good job.
That is great. Yes.
Beautiful song.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
I
you.
love that. Is it too
Thanks.
late to put that on the album? I
It is
guess,
too
or-
late to put that on the record.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
in the can.
that's for the next
Unless
one.
the hard drive burns up in Nashville somewhere, then it's all starting
Don't
over
say
again.
that. Don't even say that. That's a beautiful song. Thanks
Thanks,
very
dude.
much.
Yeah, appreciate
That's
you.
the fabulous Andrew Duhon has been here as usual on Happy Hour. Mike Dillon was with us as well. You can catch Mike at Tipitina's on Friday night, this Friday,
Yep.
June the 9th.
Yeah,
I think
the
it
9th,
is.
yeah.
2017. If you listen to this show after that, you have to go to MikeDillonMusic.com or
MikeDillonVibes.com. Yep.
MikeDillonVibes.com.
We got
There's
a new
link to that.
website.
It's
Yeah.
cool, actually.
Yeah.
It's a cool website. There's a link to that on our website. It's neworleans.com. You can find Veronica Elweiss at veronicaelweiss.com, and there's a link to that on our website. It's neworleans.com. You can find the food bar at
EatHappyNola.com.
eathappynola.com. And where is it in the real world?
1522 Robert E. Lee out by UNO.
Okay,
and the Paris
thank you
Avenue.
very much, you guys. Thanks, everybody, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And thank you, too, to Basics Underneath and Basics Swim and Gym on Magazine Street, where you can get lingerie and swimsuits if you're a woman. And thank you, too, to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural way to prevent a hangover. Go to hdestroyer.com and write Happy Hour in the coupon code, and you too can get 30% off of Hangover Destroyer and seize the dawn. Thanks for joining us on Happy Hour. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our associate producers are Alison Moon and April Stolf. Christian Unruh is our music director, and our music producer is Jean Valois. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and our live feed directors are Asher Griffith, who did it all by himself today because Grayson Jernigan is away. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, it's neworleans.com, where you can also check out some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, True to the Game, with the very funny Chris True, Midnight Menu +1, with Margot Moss and the Man Who Ate New Orleans, Ray Canada, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tooker, and the podcast about death, called Death the Podcast, with psychologist Dr. Arian Alfand. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and it's batonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook. Apparently, you can keep up with a lot more on Facebook as well, if you know Veronica. And on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. These photos were taken today by Alison Moon. If you're listening to this show on your favorite podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Take a moment to rate and review us if you've got a moment. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting. For itsneworleans.com, for Andrew Duhon, everybody else around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour. That's it.